Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, la 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 lie. Ya lie, la lie, 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 la lie. Lie, lie, la 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 lie. Ya lie, la lie, 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 la lie. Ya lie, la lie, lie, ya la 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 la lie. Ya lie, la 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 lie. Ya lie, la lie, 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 la lie. Ya lie, da 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 da. Ya lie, la lie, 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 la lie. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome. Thank you for being here in person or on Zoom on this, the last Shabbat of our secular year. We're joined on the Bima today by Teddy Levine, a very special guest. But you may notice that we have a few people short tonight. We're going a cappella, and we've got the rabbinic intern leading, so it's going to be a fun night. The secular New Year has not historically been my favorite holiday. I would see these people make New Year's resolutions and not keep them. There was all this pressure to be at the right party, get all the pictures and put them on Facebook. I didn't understand the hype. But then I met my best friend in college, and they told me that New Year's is their favorite holiday. And it's not because they always keep their New Year's resolutions or because they really believe that something magical happens when the clock strikes midnight. It's because people come together in the dead of winter and choose hope. They choose to believe in new beginnings. So whether you're a New Year's cynic like me or a New Year's supporter like them, I wish you all the hope to keep you warm this not so cold Shabbat winter night.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, my name is Dave Snyder, and I'm the second vice president here at Anshe Emeth. It's my pleasure to invite Sarah Levine for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. The prayers for the lighting of the Shabbat candles can be found on pages 2 and 3 of your prayer book. Shabbat Shalom.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn now to page 20 and continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zachor beribor echad, Hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ol tiferet belititi la lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha merosh bikerem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila la la la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech hir melucha, kumitzei mitoch ha'hafecha, rab lach shevet be'emecha bacha, vehu yachamol alaychem lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hi na'ari me'afar kumi, Lishe bigdei tifatekami, An yad ben Yishai beit alachmi, Korva el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, lo tevoshi velo tikal mima tishtochachi, ומה תמיבך יחסו, אני עמי ונבנתה עיר על תילה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו, קומב עלייך יסיס עלייך, אלוהיך כמסוס חתן על כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת ארוני, תעריצי עד יד איש, בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת
Please rise and turn to the back of the sanctuary.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה, ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the Hatzi Kaddish on page 526.
Page 26.
Page 26, my goodness.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu. Page 28.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai-dai-da-dai, yai-dai-da-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Yai-dai-da-dai, yai-dai-da-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai.
Please be seated. From the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu v'kumeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen.
From the bottom of page 39, we read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei fele, nora tehilot osei fele, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'amru, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora oseh, nora oseh fele, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadashei Mekadashei Shevi Shabbat
Shabbat.
Kulam
Kulam.
Yispe'u
Yismehu.
Bitangu mituvecha Shabbat Yispe'u V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat V'hashvi Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat
Shabbat.
Chemdat Yamim Oto karata Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Zecher Zecher
Zecher.
Lema'aseh Bereshit Shabbat
Shabbat.
Zecher
Zecher.
Zecher
Zecher.
Lema'aseh Bereshit Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat.
Please.
Ananana svatai tiftach Ananana ufi agi tehilatecha Ananana Adonai Ananana svatai tiftach Ananana ufi agid tehilatecha Ananana Adonai Adonai svatai tiftach Ananana ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai Adonai svatai tiftach Ananana ufi agid tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanorah El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Mekonei Hakol Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממיד ומחייב, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue with silent prayer through page 63, adding the words and meditations of our hearts. When you are finished, you may be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
As you might guess, when we are not in our quiet holiday mode here at Anshe Emeth, my weekends here are quite busy. If you see me here on Friday night, then by morning time I'm leading Torah study with the adults. Then I'm often physically running from the media center into the auditorium to lead tefillah with our pre-K through second grade. I make an appearance at any youth group programming in the afternoon, and I'm back on Sunday morning to teach our high schoolers. My busiest weekends are my favorite because on those weekends, I get to teach the same piece of Torah to 3 different age groups. I start with adults, then I meet with our youngest learners, 4 through 7 years old, and then I teach the teens in their Torah study on Sundays. I get the privilege of seeing how different generations interact with the same stories and the same ideas. Some of them even within the same family. I have parents and kids, older and younger siblings. I even get to play a game with one of my teens where they, with scarily accurate precision, guess what their dad said in Torah study one day earlier. Oleg Doolin, watch out for Miriam. They know what you are thinking. But one of my favorite things to watch their reactions to has been the dynamics between the Jacob and Joseph stories. I've gotten some really interesting different reactions. My youngest learners are still grappling with the idea that Jacob has 4 wives, but that's okay, we can let that rise up and pass away. The thing they really connect to are the feelings that each of the characters are feeling at the time and the family dynamics. My favorite question to ask the little ones is, how would you feel if that was happening to you? When Jacob tricked Isaac into giving him the blessing, they felt sad and angry on behalf of Isaac. When Jacob ran away from his angry brother Esau, they felt scared for Jacob. When Jacob and Esau reunited with a big hug, they felt happy and grateful that they were able to make up. When I told them about Joseph's dreams of his brothers collectively bowing to him, I asked how they would feel if their siblings said that to them. I got a good mix of emotions on that one. Mad, sad. Some of our kids told me they would run away forever or kick Joseph so hard in the face that he flew into the house. We had some pretty creative violence come up in response to that one. And some kids weren't mad at Joseph at all. They said it was unfair of Jacob to play favorites among his kids and that all the brothers should have come together and put their dad in his place. But ultimately, the 4 through 7-year-olds are a pretty understanding bunch. They know that we all make mistakes, and as long as Jacob and Joseph are sorry, it's okay that they're not perfect. My teen and adult groups have a mix of perspectives on our flawed protagonists. Some of our Torah learners question why God would choose to be in close connection with people who make questionable choices, like lying to one's blind, dying father, or boasting to all of one's siblings about how you will inevitably rule over them. My adults like to say that maybe God picks people that God sees potential in, or that there are no perfect people anyway and God had to choose someone. My teens have a more colorful theory, and I'll use their exact words to pay them proper tribute. They like to say that God likes it messy. They have this theory that God is maybe entertained or inspired by all the drama and picks people who have a bit of a mischievous or deceitful streak in them on purpose just to follow them and see what happens. I have my days where I agree with the teens and my days where I don't. But if there was one Torah portion where I really think God was just watching creation with some giant tub of divine popcorn, it's Vayigash. Vayigash is the pinnacle of drama and irony and just perfect, juicy storytelling. We enter in with a long-anticipated reunion in the most dramatic possible fashion. It has been decades since Joseph's brothers threw him in a well and sold him into slavery. And Joseph worked his way up from slavery, and eventually he was put in jail, and now he is a respected member of the Pharaoh's court. His brothers rejected him because of these crazy dreams he was having, and he would not stop sharing. And he actually used those exact dreams to fuel his success. Now, just as he foresaw in his dream about sheaves of wheat raising up, his sheaf being higher than his brothers, and all of those sheaves of wheat bowing, his brothers' crops are now failing in great famine. They've wandered away from their hometown to find help, and of all the courts and all the surrounding lands, they find themselves in front of Joseph, but they don't recognize him. They don't know it's Joseph. So Joseph, who got kicked out of his family and had this dream where all of his brothers bowed to him, is reunited with those very brothers, and what do? They bow to him. They ask for his help and his support in their family. To be Joseph in that moment, to be God with the divine popcorn in the sky watching this all, incredible. But this begs a question, at least in the mind of Nachmanides and a few of our other commentators. Why, if Jacob and Joseph had such a close bond, and Joseph was doing well enough for himself that he might have been able to send a message or pay a visit back home, did he let his father mourn him all those years? Why did he let everybody think that he had died? While there's no direct answer in our text, Or HaChaim offers a pretty convincing explanation. Rabbi Chaim Ibn Attar points to a midrash about Joseph's mother, Rachel. In this midrash, Rachel actually knew that her father, Laban, would deceive Jacob and have her marry Leah instead of her. But she was so worried about shaming her sister that she decided to be complicit in the plan and allow it to happen. Chaim Ibn Attar believed that, like his mother, Joseph hated the idea of bringing shame upon his siblings. So instead of reaching out and revealing what his brothers did to his father's favorite son, he let everyone mourn his death and hoped that they would move on. Joseph doesn't reveal his hand right away. He asks a few questions. He asks if they have a father or maybe some other brothers. But eventually Joseph cracks. He says, "I'm your brother, Joseph. How's my father?" His brothers all stare at him dumbfounded. The first words out of Joseph's mouth were for Joseph, to answer his own burning question. But he backtracks. He introduces himself again, this time for his brothers. He invites them closer and tells them exactly what they need to hear. "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Do not be distressed or reproach yourselves because you sold me here. It was to save our lives that God sent me ahead of you." He addresses the exact concern on their minds and absolves them. He says, "Yes, you did something harmful to me, but it was all in God's plan for me and for us. It was for the good that I came here. I helped Egypt avoid famine, and now I can save you too." This is the most beautiful full circle moment I could imagine for this family. Joseph's older brothers were so enraged by the idea of bowing to their younger brother that they enacted violence upon him. And what were they so afraid of? That this would mean they were weaker than him, less than him, that he would lord something over them or control them. But in the moment they bow, he meets them with kindness, forgiveness, love, acceptance. The moment they were most afraid of became their moment of redemption and the very thing that saved them and their family. This doesn't erase the wrongs that were committed in the course of the story. My little ones were pretty dead on when it comes to right and wrong. Kindergartners will always remind us that it is not right to lie, cheat, or hurt others. Which leaves the question that my older learners sit with. Why are Joseph and Jacob the major protagonists of our Genesis story? Why did God choose them? And I think that's right in our name, the name we received in honor of Jacob himself. We are Israel, the people who struggle with God, not the perfect people, not the people who never mess up or do wrong or act selfishly. God gave us a Torah full of people who are not perfect, so we can see ourselves in their journeys. We are the people who strive to do better than yesterday and live by our values as much as possible, even when it's hard. And just like Joseph, we are at our very best when we can accept ourselves and our brothers with kindness, forgiveness, love, and acceptance. Shabbat Shalom.
Please join me. Hine ma tov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad, 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 hine ma tov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad.
Before we conclude our service, a few announcements. As always, if you would like a comprehensive list of things that are going on at the temple, you can check your email for your This Week at AEMT list of links that will go out on Monday. In this coming week, we have a lunch and learn with Rabbi Miller and Rabbi Or Zohar, who will be joining us on Zoom from Israel. That will be Wednesday, January 4th at 11 a.m. RSVP is required if you would like to join us for lunch, so you can call the office after Shabbat is over, or you can RSVP online. Our bereavement group has a revised date for next week. If you would like to join the bereavement group, that will be in person here at the synagogue on Wednesday, January 4th at 6:30 p.m. This coming week, we will have our first Shabbat dinner of the new year. Oh my goodness, 2023, it is coming. So services will be at 6 p.m. this coming Friday on January 6th, and dinner will follow at 7 p.m. If you would like to join us for dinner, RSVP is required. Once again, you can RSVP over the phone or online. You can join us after services are over in... That one's Littman, yes.
Littman Hall.
Littman Hall, right. Littman Hall for the Oneg. And if you are on Zoom, you can just have a great rest of your evening. We turn our thoughts now to those for whom their health has become precarious. We join together as one community to bless them and those that care for them with Misha Berach on page 253. If you have a loved one that you would like to pray for, please bring them into your thoughts as we pray together.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Please turn to page 282 for the Elenu.
Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We turn to page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
Remember Me by Elizabeth Targash. When it is time for me to leave this world, don't think of me beneath the earth. Instead, think of me when the earth gives life to spring's first flowers, when summer rain fills the air with the rich, sweet scent of earth and grass, leaf and tree. Remember me when the sky is painted gold and red at day's beginning and at day's end. Think of me when the snow dances in the arms of winter's trees. Then wrap yourself in a soft, warm blanket and remember the times I wrapped my arms around you to keep the cold away. Remember the days we filled with love and laughter. Remember the days marred by sorrow and tears. When my time has come, don't curse God for numbering our days, for it is only the body whose days are numbered. Don't bid me farewell. Just whisper, I love you, then look deep into the eyes of a child, for it is there that my soul will find a new home. Think of me, remember me, and my soul will live on in you and the generations yet to be. We now turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us. As a community, we remember Daniel Sue, father of Ori Sue and Stephen, Lynn Ling, Hansdale, and Maggie, grandfather of Naya, Kalia, Esther, and Louisa. We remember Dr. Joel Wayne Goldsmith, companion of Sarah Wasserman, father of Michelle and Jonathan, brother-in-law of Lanny and Lee. We remember Teffin Landis, husband of John Pamela, brother of Mickey and Linda, Mark and Carolyn, Alan of blessed memory and Linda, Diane and Jeffrey and Irene. We remember Doris Darer, wife of Joseph of blessed memory, mother of Michael and Barbara, Sue and Mark and Bert, grandmother of Jeff and Sarah, Bert, Eric, and Adam, great-grandmother of Roxanne and Cyrus. We remember Paula Curley, sister of Mark of blessed memory and Marjorie, mother of Tracy and Saul, Amy and David, Trish and Beth, grandmother of Tyler and Brana, Spencer, Adam, Brandon, and Morgan. We remember Florence Schwartz, wife of Sanford of blessed memory, mother of Ron and Dale, aunt of Stephen and Suzanne, grandmother of Lori, Leslie, Lonnie, Ryan, Darren, and great-grandmother of 9 children. If there is someone that you are remembering this evening, whether you are in the first month of mourning, first year of mourning, observing a yahrzeit, or there is someone on your heart this evening, please share their name aloud as my hand passes you. If you are joining us on Zoom, you may share their name in the comments or aloud in your home.
Florence Weinstein, Roberta Stanton.
Barbara Bernstein. Arlene Leventhal. The Kaddish can be found on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayed kol beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam umei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen.
Some closing words. The Head of the Year by Marge Piercy. The moon is dark tonight, a new moon for a new year. It is hollow and hungers to be full. It is the black zero of beginning. Now you must void yourself of injuries, insults, incursions. Go with empty hands to those you have hurt and make amends. It is not too late. It is early and about to grow. Now is the time to do what you know you must and have feared to begin. Your face is dark too, as you turn inward to face yourself, the hidden twin of all you must grow to be. Forgive the dead year. Forgive yourself. What will be wants to push through your fingers. The light you seek hides in your belly. The light you crave longs to stream from your eyes. You are the moon that will wax in new goodness. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening. We will now close with our closing song, Adon Olam, to a festive tune on page 321.
Please rise. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa b'chefsa kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yeh betifara ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni להמשילו להחמירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי בצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אב כדרוכי בעת אישן בעירה ועם רוחי גוויעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Barbershop.